Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. Although, should I say, Ferragudo Dreaming, because this episode is a little bonus for you. This is a podcast takeover I did a little while ago, just a few days ago. Can't remember when it was. And the lovely Sandra Westein, only just learned how to say her name properly. I've been saying it wrong and she's so nice. She never corrected me. But she invited me on to do a friendly takeover on her podcast, Ferragudo Dreaming. So for those of you who've been around a while listening to the show, you might remember that Lauren and I and Alicia hosted an unapologetic retreat in Ferragudo last year. And that's when I met Sandra. She's amazing. Anyway, you'll find out all about her in this episode because we go into everything that she's been up to recently. So without further ado, have a listen in. Without further ado, let's dive in. This is a treat. Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I'm Jill Mokes and I am obsessed with cutting through the noise when it comes to growing your business. Each week, via intimate coaching conversations and inspirational stories, I share what it really takes to get the results you want in a way that feels right to you. I am all about attracting higher ticket opportunities, building authentic relationships, and creating the abundant, full-fat version of your dream business. I mean, how many of us have beavered away creating a light version of what we really want? The thing is, I honestly believe when you're outstanding at what you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So, are you ready to put our heads together and make it happen? Let's go. Welcome to Ferragudo Dreaming. Yes, I'm taking over.
I've given up everything. I've given up the lead and gave it to Jill.
Thank you. Thank you for taking over. For those who don't know me, I'm Jill Mokes. I'm a business coach. I'm based in the UK and I help female founders play bigger in their lives and their businesses. And Sandra has let me come and do a takeover, a friendly takeover.
Friendly takeover, yeah.
Friendly takeover. So welcome to my Heads Together podcast audience, but also hello, Ferragudo Dreaming podcast audience. What we thought would be a really fun thing to do is, because I think as podcast hosts, we're so used to doing the interviewing, aren't we? We're used to being the ones that are asking the questions and finding out all the juicy goss. And we thought it'd be really fun to turn the tables on you so that your audience out here in the gorgeous Algarve get to find out a bit more about you and what you're up to, because you've got a lot of exciting stuff going on, right?
Yeah. And it's getting even more excited because that's what the Algarve does to you. You get much more inspiration because your surroundings are different. So you just go along with that and the surroundings make you get your flow much more. It's going faster. It's more intense. So the ideas that I have already implemented in my businesses. I got them here. So not in the Netherlands where I used to live, but I got them here. So here everything changed for me personally, but also for my business. So I started here the Ferragudo Dreams Workations. And I also added to that the location finder so that people, businesses, or who want a photo shoot or something else, or a promotional activity, they can turn to me and I will look for the right location that's perfect for the thing that they want to do and just guide them through that and arrange everything for them. So it's not just the workations where I get entrepreneurs here and I arrange everything for them and organize activities and stuff. But also for companies who want to do promotional activities. And that's going really well. I'm learning more about me and what I can do as well.
Just before we hit record, we were talking about this, weren't we? And I was just saying, because I co-hosted a retreat. That's how we met. was when I was co-hosting a retreat in the Algarve in Ferragudo last year. And we were just saying before we hit record that there is something special about that place. There really is something very special. And you mentioned something which was about that light. And I remember that really vividly. There's a special kind of light that just kind of, I know, it makes you feel different.
Yeah.
And to your point about that finding service that you're doing, I could imagine that is going so well, because that, for businesses who want to harness that specialness of the area, having someone on the ground who knows where the best spots are, the best places, the best photographers, the best restaurants, that's invaluable, isn't it?
Yeah. And I did that because I did it once for a real estate agent. And then I got another client from the Netherlands called me. And they wanted to do a photo shoot for a sun cream brand. And while I was talking to her, already the ideas were popping up in my head, because I immediately knew just by talking to her, oh, this is the perfect location. That is the perfect location. It was just magic. It was really magic.
I think you're really good at that kind of thing too. Like, you are a really great combination of someone who is creative, so you can absolutely get someone's vision, but you also have that practical side of someone who can do the deal and get it organized. And that, for someone who's organizing an event, or, so whether that's retreats or like you say, photo shoots, that kind of thing, that combination is just brilliant. I think it's one of the many things, as a multi-passionate entrepreneur that you are absolutely born to do.
Ever since you called me a multi-passionate entrepreneur, I've been using it. And people say, oh, what is that? What is that? So I said, in short, I do too much.
No, I think you do perfect amount. Or you could look at it and say, you know what? I just don't limit myself. I don't limit myself. If something feels right, I'm going to do it.
But that's also how I feel, because, I started as a business manager, and I have developed myself and also my business into this. The expertise now lies on not the virtual assistant I used to be, supporting entrepreneurs in their daily business, but really focus now on social media management and website restyling.
Ooh, tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, that's social media management. I already did that. And I also did a training for that, so that I just have a diploma and I have a degree, and then implement this also for my clients, because I want my clients to have the best of me and also the best of my knowledge. And then, and next to that, I'm also a personal power coach. And I use the personal power method. Recently, I got my English license. So I'm licensed to do that here as well in the Algarve.
And I have to, at this point, say that I have been on the receiving end of that personal power service, and it is bloody phenomenal. Lauren and I both, and Alicia, all three of us just loved it. It was so interesting. And, we still refer back to that now. And I often refer back to the resources you gave us afterwards. It's so interesting.
3 years ago, I did my first personal power test. And then the color red was my dominant color, was my power color. But also, I had red as a desire color. So I was all into the red color family, because that's the point. You have to embrace it in a way and implement it in your personal life and in your business life. So I restyled my personal and my business branding. I created a new logo. I used the new colors. I created a new website and used these colors as well. But now, 3 years later, and I really used those colors to get to my desire. And now, 3 years later, because the founder of the personal power method said, you have to do the test again, because you have gone through so many changes in the last 3 years. You moved to Portugal. You just invented yourself again. And you're just a different person than you were 3 years ago when you were still living in the Netherlands and going up and down to the Algarve. So I did the test again. And yeah, I have new colors now because my desire has moved now. So it's changed. There's another color attached to that. But also my power has changed. She said you can really see that you used your power colors to get to where you are now. That is really what I did. You have to do that because if you use it right, if you wear it, you have it in your surroundings, you have it in your office or in your house or everywhere, just implement it and try to come as close to your desire as you possibly can. So I did that. And then I was from here, I was there. I'm moving my hands. Nobody can see.
Don't worry. I do air quotes quite a lot on the podcast. It's always helpful.
So I thought, okay, well, let's use this personal power method in a way that if you want to change something, so if you want to do like a website restyling, use your power colors and then go from here. So I have this new service now. I use the personal power method as a canvas and then people do the test and then you move on to your social media, how to implement this and change your branding and all that kind of stuff. And also the website restyling. And that's working.
It makes so much sense that one would feed the other.
Why didn't I think of that before? But there's a time for everything, of course.
Yeah, of course.
No, I did it for myself 3 years ago. And I thought, why didn't I think of that before to do it for my clients as well? So now I've done that. So I've launched it this week. It's just great. I already did it for 2 clients and they were really happy because they said, oh, these colors, everybody is talking about these colors. And that's what I was aiming for because people have to notice that there's a change.
Right. Yeah.
Because they don't see just a change in the appearance, but also in the person itself.
And I think that's the key, isn't it? Is that good branding, it doesn't start with the color palette. It doesn't start with just picking colors you like aesthetically. It absolutely starts with going deep into who you are as a business owner or as a personal brand. It goes into, what you value, what you stand for. And I think that's what's most interesting for me about what you do is that it's a deeper process. It's not a shallow kind of, let's pick a few colors we liked. It's not about that. But it means that those final colors that you're then going to see through into your business brand as well are going to absolutely be aligned with who you are.
Yeah. And also be aligned with the person you want to be. Because normally you evolve. You change as a person as you grow older through the experience you have, through everything. And so you change as a person. And with that, also your business changes as it should be. It did with me. So I'm just using my own experience to help other entrepreneurs do the same because I am the living proof that things work.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I always say to my clients, like your best clients are the people who are where you were a couple of years ago. Those are your best clients. Because those are the people that you can really mentor as well as serve in whatever way you serve them. They can actually look to you and say, okay, I can see she's done that. That makes sense. And I think that's exactly what you're doing. And you know what, Sandra, I see that as what you do very naturally whenever you do anything in your business. Because when you think about Ferragudo Dreams, it's for people who are where you were, when you wanted to be there in the Algarve and experience it and be part of it. So I think that's super interesting. I think it's what makes for great businesses.
Yeah. And that's because I think authenticity is really important. And I'm just me. I'm not following some handbook or something. It's just me and my experience.
And you don't limit yourself. One thing I really love about you is that you don't limit yourself. You don't listen to voices who say, you've got to pick a lane or, you can only do this or this. You're very multi-passionate. No, you know what? If it feels right to me, that's what I'm going to do. And I really love that.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this before, of course. Also, I had a business coach when I was starting my business 8 years ago. And they all say, you have to pick a niche.
Yeah.
And I thought, why do I pick a niche? Because, I can do so much, but then you follow the program and you have to pick that niche. Otherwise you cannot go further in the program.
In someone else's program.
Somebody else's program that's holding me behind. And through the years, I noticed that there's a group of business coaches and they all use the same handbook. They all have the same questions. They all have the same rules. And it's always mandatory that you have a niche. And I was thinking, why?
There are some advantages to having a niche. Don't get me wrong.
Of course. It makes things much easier.
It makes marketing much easier if you've got a niche. But you know what? That's only okay if that feels right for you. Because here's what I've found as well is that we all do have a niche, whether we realize it or not. It's just that for some people, their niche isn't the kind of work they do or the industry they work in. It's more about the values they hold. And it's about working with people whose values are aligned with their own. And I think if you think about your business, that's going to be a common thread across all of these different things that you do, is that your values and who you are and what you stand for, they never change, but you apply them in different areas, luckily for your clients.
Yeah. But I think I've developed my own niche during the years, because you start at the beginning, you have a very broad insight and you have a broad view of everything and say, oh, I can do everything. But then you go, it's like a funnel. You go into the smaller bits. So now I'm on my way to be an expert on the social media and on the website restyling using the personal power method. So I combine the two things. Yeah. So I'm on my way to do that. And I'm using everything I have ever learned, everything that I know. I'm using experiences that I have with other people, but also the experience I had with other business coaches. And I think that's making my business more unique, I think. And also working from the Algarve, it's unique on itself, of course, because I can invite my clients here.
Stop trying to give me life envy.
No, but it's so nice. You just come here. You know where I am.
Yeah, I am absolutely going to, we've talked before about doing workations and things like that. That is absolutely something I'm doing next year. And also for unapologetic retreats, I could see us being back in the Algarve at some point. So yeah, 100%.
And we talked about collaborations as well. So like a collaboration between you and me. And because I love to do that, because you can learn from each other and you can help each other. Yeah.
Definitely. I really think a collaboration would be lovely, because when you've been talking about this combination of the power colors and the website refresh and how that applies to someone's kind of personal brand and business brand, I can just see the power of that so strongly. But what I also know is that there is enormous power in being with you in person to do the color assessments. And I could see that being a beautiful thing to bring people together to do. So it's almost like they come and do this in-person part and then they go off and you finish off the work for them with their website. But, I think that would be a lovely thing to do. And we'll throw in a bit of business coaching with it as well, obviously.
Yeah. No, I think that's a brilliant idea, actually. Yeah, we should do that. Because you can combine colors with so much. It's not just you or it's not just your business. You can use your colors for so many things. You can combine it with other specialties.
Colors, this is going to sound really crazy. Lauren, if you're listening to this, I know you will understand where I'm coming from with this. So Lauren's the most incredible brand strategist and designer and brand coach. And she has been working with me for ages on my brand. And only because I get so stuck with color. I really struggle with it. I know that it's not everything, but it is important to me. She's been so patient with me as we've kind of navigated this, and she's just been so helpful. But it is definitely something I struggle with, and I can't be alone in that. there must be other people like me who really struggle with owning the power of their colors.
Yeah, because that is difficult because, like I said before, I did the test again. And now my power color is a color I would never, never, never choose.
Really? I need to know what it is.
It's, well, I'm now in the yellow family. Vanilla. I'm still in the red family, but it's not as dominant as it was. But now also it's not a fireman red or a coral red. Now I have Bordeaux red, like the wine.
That's a really confident color.
It's also because the yellow colors, because I understand because the meaning of the color yellow, I really, really, really understand because it gives you the power to fight for what you want, that you are determined to get there. So it gives you strength and that you hold on to it and that you really believe in that. I understand, but the color itself, really, because I hate it when somebody gives me sunflowers. I hate sunflowers.
Interesting, right?
My husband wants a yellow car. Never, never, never gonna happen.
But there's something about it for you that in your power colors and potentially your website where it's important.
Yeah.
Like red was when it was doing its job of moving you to where you are now.
Yeah, so I need to use and start using it more because what people normally see and what I always also see, that it is already here. You already have it in your surroundings or something. But because before I did the test, like 2 days before I did the test, I needed some maps and some folders. And so I went here to the Staples. And what did I buy? Vanilla folders.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know. And I never buy blue because there's also blue in there. And I never buy blue. And I bought a blue dress. Why? I don't know. There is something then that's just in your body. I don't know, in your mind.
But you're so open to it as well. You're so open to it. You believe in it. So subconsciously, you're just stepping into it. You're trusting. So is this about trusting it as well? It's a little bit about putting your trust in it, especially if it's a color you don't naturally gravitate to. It's about putting your trust in why that might be important, why it might be a powerful color for you.
Yeah, well, I remember our session and with Lauren, and she said, "Oh, I hope it's not lavender." And it was lavender.
And it was lavender. Wasn't that funny? And she will be the first one to say that since then, lavender has featured every now, it'll be whether it's in the flowers in her garden or it will be just, there are little places where it shows itself. And now she's like, yeah, I know why that.
Yeah, because I always ask when I get the response like Lauren or myself, is there nothing in this color that's already there? So check if it's already there. And she said, "Oh, my mother planted lavender in my garden."
Yeah.
And that was so funny. And I have the same thing because I had that with the vanilla folders and my blue dress. And the new color of this winter is Bordeaux.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a warm red. Well, it is. Well, I buy this brand here in Portugal. It's called Parfois. And they send newsletters and they said, okay, the new winter color is Bordeaux.
Wow.
It was really, wow. You cannot imagine that this is happening because, it's just floating into your life and it's just very natural and organic.
Yes. I was just going to say it is very organic, but also I think that's why this is so powerful, is that it becomes this sort of kind of like a background undercurrent that's helping you. Because I will do loads of work on mindset. So I know the power of harnessing your mind. And, if you have a goal you want to achieve, so much of that is around mindset because our mindset is what determines how we take action. And I think this is almost like what you do is this. It's a foundation of that too. It's almost like it's a helping hand to your mindset is to have these power colors in your life.
But while you're saying this, my head is spinning.
I know, right? This always happens when we have conversations, isn't it? I'm always like, oh, we could do this and we could do that.
Yeah, but that is a good thing, because when you're open to collaborations, to other people's expertise, and just be able to share that and make it into one big thing, then it's amazing. I think then you're on the right path, because that makes you so much stronger. There's a saying, you go alone and then you go slow. If you go together, you go more quickly, or something like that.
I think it's go fast, go alone and move fast, go together and go far. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, I would like to go far with you for sure.
Yeah. Well, in short, this is what the Algarve has brought me. This is really, I changed my life, and I was open to change my life. And that made my life much more interesting, more relaxed, and I'm more aware of who I am. I would love for everybody to have that experience.
Absolutely.
Not for just one time, but for a lifetime.
Oh, love that. I love that. I want to finish with a question for you. What are you most looking forward to about the future? Your future in Ferragudo?
No, I look forward most to seeing around me the people I've worked with grow, that they have grown. And then I'm just there looking at them, proud, content.
So lovely.
And just be happy. And also what I really look forward to, it's something different. I applied for the Algarve Business Awards.
Huh? How can we support you? How can we support you?
Well, not yet. Well, the 11th of September, I know if I'm in the semifinals. So I've applied for Ferragudo Dreams and for a business manager. That is in the near future. That's really what I'm looking forward to. But the near future. So it's like this year. And for the future in, well, maybe 2 years or in 5 years, I really hope that I stay healthy here. I can keep living here in the Algarve. I run my business still like I'm doing now, and maybe even better. Of course, it's getting better. And just be me and be in the moment and live. Live my life the best I can.
Oh, Sandra, I love every time we speak. Thank you for letting me do this friendly takeover of Ferragudo Dreaming.
Yeah, I loved it.
I've really enjoyed it. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
And we should speak more, just for fun.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Maybe I can have a guest spot on the Ferragudo Dreaming bonus guest spot.
Yeah, we should do that. But we're definitely gonna talk more about the things that we talked about now.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Very dear listeners of Ferragudo Dreaming podcast. Thank you for listening to this friendly takeover as well. And see you soon.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and that getting our heads together this week has filled your mind with what's possible. If you love the show, would you do me a massive favour, please? Would you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts? It would really help me put more heads together, reach more ears and expand more minds. Until next week, bye for now.